The U.S. Arab Radio Network is the largest Arab and Muslim radio network in America, broadcasting throughout the Midwest region Monday through Friday on WNZK AM 690. U.S. Arab Radio features Arabic and English language programming on every topic, from health, food, and culture to government, politics, and legal issues. Listen live to U.S. Arab Radio in Michigan, Toledo, Ohio, and Windsor, Canada on WNZK AM 690. And in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia on WDMV 700 AM. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. So join us every day on the U.S. Arab Radio Network and check out our website at www.arabradio.us.
Good morning and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hachem with U.S. Arab Radio. We have a great show for you today. Today is election day. We hope that you either voted or you are on your way to vote. So with us this morning is Michigan Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, to talk to us about the election. Good morning and thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So what's new and are we ready for the election?
We are. This is a local election, an important election. They don't always get the most coverage, but it is important to make your voice heard in every election because local elections have so much impact on your day-to-day life. School funding, or who your mayor is, who your city council is. So by participating and choosing local representation, it's key to making sure that you're able to get everything that you need in your community.
Wonderful. So how ready are we?
Everything's going great, and we're grateful to have had such a wonderful and smooth election day.
Mm-hmm. What do we need to know?
What you need to know is that the polls close at 8 o'clock, and you can vote in person on election day up until 8 p.m. If you're still in line, you can vote until the polls close at 8 p.m. If you still have your mail-in ballot, you can return it in person to your clerk's office by 8 p.m. today.
Okay. And this is something, there's no really, I can pick it up the same day and still return it. Is that correct?
Well, if you don't yet have your ballot, you should go to your precinct, your local precinct, and vote there. And you can find the location of your precinct at michigan.gov/vote.
And the deadline is 8 o'clock. Now, those that have been mailed, the ballots that have been mailed, when do they come? Is there a deadline for them?
They have to be postmarked today. And so if you still have your ballot, you should, at this point, return it in person to your clerk's office today because it has to be received today. There's also a ballot drop box in your community, and you can find the location of that at michigan.gov/vote. But if you still have your ballot that you received at home and you haven't returned it yet, return it in person to your clerk's office by 8 p.m. today.
What do I need to bring with me to vote?
Well, you need to bring, if you have it, an ID. That helps. We also identify people through a signature, and that's it. Make sure that you have all the information you need to cast an informed vote before heading into the ballot box. But our clerks and local officials are there in the polls, ready to answer any questions you have when you show up.
What's the law in regard to people who are standing outside campaigning for other people?
Well, you are allowed to stand outside, but you can't be closer than 100 feet. So there's usually at every precinct a sign that says where that 100 feet buffer is. After you cross that, no one's allowed to ask you about voting or give you any information. That's your private place as a voter once you go into the precinct and receive your ballot.
Yeah. Sometimes I notice there are people standing there watching. Are those like poll watchers or who are they?
They are oftentimes observers. We have a very transparent election process, and anyone is allowed, and certainly individuals can also register ahead of time to observe the process. And then, of course, campaigns can send volunteers, but they have to stay outside that 100-foot buffer.
Now, all the ballots are dots where we can circle them, or are they all uniform throughout the state of Michigan?
Well, you can see your sample ballot at michigan.gov/vote by putting in your information and looking it up. And a lot of local clerks' websites also post that sample ballot for folks to see.
It's like this is the one I need to circle in and fill out the dot.
You fill out the bubble, yeah. And there are instructions at the top of the ballot to make sure you're filling it in all the way.
Normally we have, like if you vote one way, you can't vote another way. In the general election, you don't have to do, I mean, this is a general election, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
November is the general election, so you can just cast your ballot. You don't have to read or only vote in one party's primary.
Okay, okay. And then do we know if we have like sometimes on the back of the ballot there are issues that we need to flip it over just to make sure that we didn't miss anything? Is that correct?
Yeah, you should always flip your ballot over to make sure you have voted for everything you're able to vote for. Every ballot, every community is different. Some communities have millages, others only have one or two things on the ballot. So always make sure you're looking at the front and the back of your ballot to make sure you've answered and voted in all the categories that you can participate in.
The write-in candidates, those I can write in the name of the candidate of my choice. Is that correct? Or does that person have to be on the ballot?
Write-in candidates actually have to register ahead of time. And so if you write in just a name that hasn't been registered as a potential write-in candidate, it likely won't count.
Oh, will not count. It doesn't really spoil the ballot. It's just that particular one does not count.
Correct. You spoil your ballot if you vote for more times than you're allowed to. So if it says vote for no more than two, if you to vote for three, that would spoil your ballot for that particular office.
Okay.
So it's important to read the ballot carefully. And in Dearborn and in other communities, we also have available translations, translated ballots, and oftentimes poll workers who are able to help explain any specifics of a ballot. Under federal laws, citizens are also allowed to bring someone with them to help explain the process if they need additional assistance or any translation services.
They can bring him with them to the station where they're voting.
Correct.
Okay. And any other issues that we need to be aware of while we're voting?
I think the most important thing is just making sure you get your ballot in by 8 o'clock, whether it's in person, dropping it off. Make sure your vote is heard because you're going to be choosing critical leaders for your communities in the weeks ahead, the years ahead. And this is your moment to have your voice heard.
Yeah. When are the busiest time? I know like late in the evening when people leave work.
Yes, usually or first thing in the morning or just after work. Between 10 and 4 o'clock are the slowest times if you're looking for the easiest time. Most people usually vote in the morning before 10 a.m. or after 4 p.m.
Wonderful. So if you really don't want, that rush, you can go in the middle of the day, and that's what I do in the middle of the day. Unfortunately, I can do that, but in the middle of the day, it's much easier to vote. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to share with us that I have not asked you?
Well, I'll just encourage everyone to go to michigan.gov/vote for all your voting needs. That's where you can get all the information you need to participate, and also get in touch there through your local clerk if you have any additional questions.
If somebody feels that something's not right, who should they call?
Well, it depends where you are when you feel that. If you're in the polling place, you should reach out to a clerk or the clerk's appointed supervisor there. They usually have a sign on them saying they're supervising the polling place. You can also call 866-OUR-VOTE, OURVOTE, if you see anything and would like to report it. And when you do that, it actually reaches us directly, your local clerk, as well as law enforcement and other voting rights advocates who can be there to troubleshoot and help walk you through the issue.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your being with us, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson. And good luck to you with the election today. And I hope that it's going to be a great election.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me. And everyone remember to go vote if you haven't already.
Sounds good. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
ألو
صباح الخير حماتي، بدي أشكيلك إنه من يوم ما زوجي أكل عندكن آخر مرة ما بقى رضي ياكل من طبخي، كل يوم بيطلب أكلة رز من عندكن. كرمال الله خبريني شو السر؟
بسيطة، هذا رز محمود سيلة.
بجد؟ وشو المميز فيه؟
عدي على أصابعك، سهل الطبخ، حبة طويلة، ولونه الأبيض الناصع بزين أي سفرة.
وشو كمان؟ شوقتيني.
ريحته بتفتح النفس، وبناتي ما بيستعملوا غيره لأنه خفيف على المعدة وبيخليكي نحيفة يا بعدي.
أيوة هلأ فهمت. الله يخلي لي إياكي يا حماتي، صار لازم بدل لرز محمود.
الرز محمود سيلة، كل حبة نختارها بعناية من حقولنا الغنية لتصل إلى مائدتك العامرة. اطلبيه الآن من أقرب سوبر ماركت لديك.
رز محمود صحي وطيب.
A car accident can change your life in an instant. As a result of a car accident, you may become unemployed. As a result of a car accident, you may need a lot of medical treatment. People think that insurance companies are on their side. Why? Because they're giving them one or two benefits. Are they giving them all the benefits they deserve? How would one know unless you consult with an attorney? Call the law offices of Jumana Kiruz at 248-557-3645. 248-557-3645.
Lead is invisible, but the dangers are real. Michigan's blood lead testing law aims to help identify exposure to lead in young children. All children should be tested for lead at ages 1 and 2. If they've never been tested, they should get a test by age 6. To help your child stay healthy, talk to their doctor about a blood lead test or visit michigan.gov/myleadsafe. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
With more than 30,000 successful in vitro fertilizations, IVF Michigan is now ranked as one of America's best fertility clinics according to Newsweek magazine. IVF Michigan fertility centers are the recognized leaders in high-quality fertility care. With locations in Bloomfield Hills and 9 other cities in Michigan and Ohio, IVF has experts in all aspects of the field. A founding member, American board-certified Dr. Nicholas Shama, is one of the leading reproductive endocrinologists in Michigan and Ohio. He has performed over 20,000 successful IVF cases, and it's helped thousands of couples fulfill their dreams of parenthood. When it's time to get personalized care from Dr. Nicholas Shama at one of America's best fertility clinics, call IVF Michigan Fertility Centers in Michigan and Ohio at 248-487-8084. That's 248-487-8084.
Welcome back and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hachem with US Arab Radio. I would like to thank Secretary Benson for being with us this morning. It is election day. This is something very, very important. Local elections is where the rubber hit the road, meaning that this is a very important election. I know we don't get excited as much as it is, when it is a presidential election or major elections, but this is a lot more important, because now you're selecting the people who represent you at the city council, who represent you in the smallest part of your life, this is what really affects. These are the people who decide your, what goes on in your city, your streets, your safety, and then the money that you pay. You pay the city taxes, you pay these guys to run the city, and you hire them basically. And then if you hire these people, you need to know who you're voting for, and don't be emotional. Just vote for the right person who will do the right work, who will represent you well, and then who will do a good job, regardless of what color they are, or what name they are, or what gender they are. This is very important. I just can't stress this issue as much as I can. It is in my 28 years of writing and working in journalism and covering local elections and seeing what's really important about local election. It's just unbelievable. In every municipality sometimes, or in some municipalities, there may be other issues on the ballot. For example, in Dearborn, there's an issue in regard to changing the makeup of the city council. Instead of being at large, then it'll be wards. We will be talking later after maybe in 10 minutes or so, we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about it more. But it is very important. Your vote counts. Some people say, it's politics. I don't want to get involved. It doesn't really affect me. No, this does affect you. Every election affects you. The way America works is first you have the first layer, which is the local level. Okay, this is what's going on the local level. And then you have county level. It's also very important. And then you have a state level. These are the people you send to the state to represent you and make decisions on your behalf. America is changing. is becoming, more and more power is coming to the state as far as the way we run our lives. So it's important who we send to Lansing. In Michigan, our capital is Lansing, in case you forgot, or you didn't know, rather. So the people that we send to Lansing, it's very important that we select the right people. And not only selected them, we need to hold them accountable as well. And this is what's not going on in this country these days. We don't have enough people. We don't hold them accountable. We go vote or we don't vote at all. If you take a look at elections and you take a look at the turnout has always been very low, unfortunately. And it's not a good idea for it to be low. Why? Because you're electing the people who are representing you in this representative democracy. They're being elected by a minority, not by a majority. Okay. If you take a look at how many registered voters are in a certain municipality, and you take a look at in local elections, I'm talking, and you take a look at the outcome, how many people voted, and you're gonna find out 10%, 5%. 5% of the registered voters are voting and selecting the people who are going to run your business. That's not good. That's not good at all. So it's very important to really select the right people. Mike, do we have somebody on hold?
Yeah, you just called. Kamal is on.
Okay. Good morning, Kamal. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Khalil. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling. So how's the election going? Today is election day.
Today's election day. We're excited. We're at the polls now. People are slowly trickling in, but we want to remind everybody to get out and vote. The polls are open till 8 p.m. Look, the last 4 years, we worked really hard for the residents. I've put in a lot of hours, a lot of initiatives for the residents of Dearborn, and we hopefully can earn your vote again. Vote Kamal Sawafi for Dearborn City Council.
Well, tell us a little bit about you, who you are and what you're running for.
Absolutely. Look, a little bit about me. I'm a captain in the Army National Guard. I have my master's degree from Wayne State University. I'm currently doing my PhD in public policy. Last 4 years really focused on things that are important to the residents of Dearborn, like reckless driving, property maintenance, holding the line on property taxes, providing the services to our residents, and making sure that we're always there for the residents when they call. I received over 1,800 calls the last 4 years. I answered every one of them and returned the right results for the residents. We want to continue that work. Well, hopefully I can count on your vote for Kamal Sawafi for Dearborn City Council.
What's the most important issue in Dearborn right now?
Look, during this election, I knocked close to 10,000 doors. The number one thing I hear from residents is that reckless driving is the biggest issue. We've done a lot the last 4 years. I voted to bring on more police officers. Now we have more police officers than we did in many years. I voted to bring on the speed humps, the illuminated stop signs. And we're taking this three-prong approach with engineering, enforcement, but the last and most important piece is education. And I think it needs to be education at home with the parents and not giving their kids these brand new Chargers and BMWs, because that's not helping us at all.
Yeah. They need to be responsible. They can't just be out there and wreaking havoc on the what's going on with the flood? What have you guys done?
That's a good question. So that is a long-term plan. The first things we did is do a study on our entire system, and that study took about a year to completely understand our system and its capacity. The company that did that study gave us recommendations. Of course, there's always a budget involved on each recommendation and what kind of capacity we can build. And we're going through those recommendations. We're not at the finish line yet, but we are directionally correct. This is not just a one-city approach. It's a regional approach that we have to look at when it comes to flooding. And we are working with our neighboring cities to kind of grow that capacity overall.
You know, serving in office is not an easy thing. It's a lot of work, and it's very demanding. We really appreciate your dedicating yourself to serving. Could you tell us a little bit more about the accomplishments and what you've done in the past 4 years?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, one thing I'm really proud of that I worked on the last 4 years and really spearheaded, and that initiative came from talking to residents. I talked to a lot of residents that have kids with special needs, and they told me, Kamal, look, we don't have a fully accessible park for my kid that's in a wheelchair, for example. And that's one of my friends, Muhammad, that has a kid that is in a wheelchair. And he said, look, the closest park that is fully accessible for my kid is in Ann Arbor. So I have to drive 45 minutes so my kid can play alongside his brother. So I said, hey, look, once I get in office, I'm going to make this a top priority. And I heard it all over the city from different families in a similar situation. Once we got in office, I was able to work with the administration and my council colleagues, and we were able to get a grant that we implemented to build 3 fully accessible new parks in the city of Dearborn. That's one is at Lapeer, one is at Crowley, and one is at Ford Woods. Now, they're no more than 10 minutes away from any home in Dearborn. That's something I'm very proud of. I spearheaded that. And now we have something that's where every child, regardless of ability, can enjoy play. Another thing is reckless driving, which is a top issue for our residents. And I understand that I introduced tough ordinances so we can actually impound and forfeit vehicles that recklessly drive. I'm talking about people that do donuts, run away from the police officers over and over again. Now the police have that tool in their toolbox where they can actually forfeit the vehicle. Because before they were just paying a few $100s and getting out the impound and doing the same thing again. So we're giving them the right tools. Yeah. Look, growing up in a low-income household wasn't easy. I know the struggles. So I also worked on programs to help low-income families throughout the city of Dearborn. We're partnering with nonprofits like Wayne Metro to bring in programs such as water bill assistance, clarifying and letting people know that, hey, if you can't pay your taxes, there are programs at the city available for you. So all these things that reflect really my values, my commitment to the city of Dearborn, I was able to accomplish. And, you know, we also balanced the budget for the first time in 20 years. We put over about $100 million in our parks. $25 million is going to Warren Avenue to reimagine that corridor. Our occupancy in our both East and West downtowns are over 90%. So it wasn't easy to get here. You see the results, and if you see the results and you like what we've done the last 4 years, I ask that you vote for me, Kamal Sawafi, for the Dearborn City Council.
Sure. There's always been problems on the road with the speeding and all of that. Have we done any studies to find out, what is going on? Can we provide more education to youth, to parents, to calm this down? Have we done anything like that?
Yeah. So I think education is the key piece here, and it's going to take a whole family approach. Parents having tough conversations with their kids. It's going to take bringing back the education drivers added to the schools. A lot of those programs, a holistic approach is what we need. We're doing our part as government, and we're going to continue to do more. For example, we have the first Roundup out coming to the city of Dearborn. It's going to be near Chase and Ford Road in that area. So we're doing everything that we can. There are studies. We're taking a data-driven approach. We're putting enforcement where we see speeding is happening. We're doing a lot, but I think we're going in the right direction. But there's still more work to do for sure when it comes to reckless driving.
Yeah, I appreciate you being responsive. I recall personally, I live in Dearborn, and I reached out to you about an issue. You were very responsive, and I really appreciate that.
Of course.
All the hard work that you put out.
I appreciate it, sir. And, people can attest to that all over the city. So I appreciate you reaching out and trusting me with your issue.
Sure. Local elections normally don't bring people out. What have you done to encourage people to come out and vote? We need more people to vote. I don't care who they vote for, as long as they come out and vote.
Yeah, I mean, look, we had get out to vote rallies. We've helped people, understand the registration process and how to vote. On the city council, we voted. I helped vote for early voting, so you see a long stretch of early voting that was very popular. I voted for that. We voted to make it as simple as prepaid stamps on your absentee ballots. That wasn't a thing before. I voted for that as well. We funded that, so now you can just drop off your absentee ballot in any blue box or the city drop box. We expanded how many drop boxes there are in the city. There was only one when I took office. Now we have many throughout the city. So we're doing everything we can to make it easier for people to vote, to include Arabic ballots, which was not an option before either. So that's definitely been top of mind, and we'll continue to keep it top of mind.
Wonderful. You got 30 seconds. Tell us why should people vote for you.
Look, you want to vote for somebody that's qualified, somebody that's experienced. I've been on the city council. You've seen my work the last 4 years. I've been responsive to residents. I have that experience. I work well with my colleagues in the administration and anybody that the residents vote in. And I want to continue that good work, but I can't do it without the support and the vote of the residents. So I ask that you vote for me, Kamal al-Sawafi, for the Dearborn City Council.
Kamal, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us on this busy day. We wish you luck.
Of course. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
ألو.
صباح الخير حماتي، بدي اشكيلك انه من يوم ما زوجي اكل عندكن اخر مرة ما بقى رضي ياكل من طبخي، كل يوم بيطلب اكلة رز من عندكن. كرمال الله خبريني شو السر.
بسيطة، هذا رز محمود سيلة.
بجد؟ وشو المميز فيه؟
عدي على أصابعك، سهل الطبخ، حبة طويلة، ولونه الأبيض الناصع بزين أي سفرة.
وشو كمان؟ شوقتيني.
ريحته بتفتح النفس، وبناتي ما بيستعملوا غيره لأنه خفيف على المعدة وبيخليكي نحيفة يا بعدي.
أيوة، هلأ فهمت. الله يخلي لي إياكي يا حماتي، صار لازم بدل لرز محمود.
الرز محمود سيلة، كل حبة نختارها بعناية من حقولنا الغنية لتصل إلى مائدتك العامرة. اطلبيه الآن من أقرب سوبر ماركت لديك.
رز محمود صحي وطيب.
Life for Relief and Development has now been rated as one of the best charities for humanitarian aid. Life's humanitarian projects span the globe, and Life is celebrating its 30th anniversary of providing essential life-saving aid to people and communities in 36 countries, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. Where there is life, there is hope. And when disaster occurs here or around the world, including being one of the first responders to the Turkey-Syria earthquake crisis, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. We are looking to help the earthquake victims, and we take 0% overhead on emergency donations. So please help improve these efforts. Learn more about our involvement to help the helpless and bring hope where it's needed most, and make your tax-deductible donation to Life for Relief and Development now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493. That's 248-424-7493. Tired of the complexities of immigration? Haunted by the threat of deportation? Struggling to reunite with your family? Have you ever dreamed of living and working legally in America but don't know where to start? El Sharnobi and Associates Law Firm, a leader in immigration and naturalization law, offers you legal support across the United States. We specialize in asylum, deportation defense, green cards and citizenship, family reunification, all types of immigration visas. Don't wait any longer. Contact us today and let our expertise lead you toward a secure and stable future. To schedule a consultation, call us at 313-581-9666. That's 313-581-9666.
Arab Center Washington, D.C. was established in 2015 to serve as a Washington-based authoritative research center on the Arab world and U.S. policies in the region. My name is Khalil Hachem, and I'm the Executive Director of Arab Center, Washington, D.C.
I am Tamara Kharoub. I'm the Deputy Executive Director and Senior Fellow here. Our mission at Arab Center, Washington, D.C. has been to provide Arab perspectives to U.S. policy conversations and to highlight rights-centered approaches to policymaking as a way to serve the causes of human rights, democracy, just and peaceful resolution to conflict, and constructive long-term U.S. interests in the region.
Our work also addresses fundamental aspects of U.S.-Arab relations through timely and objective academic research, policy analysis, and educational exchange, reaching millions of people here in the United States and around the world.
Since our inception, we invested in producing reliable, evidence-based, and inclusive analysis on important issues shaping the Middle East and North Africa.
We would like to invite you personally to check out our publications and events at arabcenterdc.org.
And please follow our social media platforms for timely responses to news, events, and current affairs.
arabcenterdc.org.
Welcome back and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hachem with US Arab Radio. I want to thank Kamal for voting and wish him good luck. Have you voted? If you have, we want to let us know how you feel, or you haven't voted yet. And any local issue that you have, please give us a call and let us know how you feel about it and what's on your mind. You know, in the city of Dearborn, there's an important issue on the ballot, and there is a group in the city would like to. The issue on the ballot, basically, what it's doing is it is asking residents to vote on changing the how the council, the city council is composed right now, which is now all city councils are elected at large, and the group is saying that it's better that if we have wards meaning that the city is divided into wards, and then every ward will elect somebody from that ward to represent them at the city council. And with us this morning is Mawari. She is one of the activists that are organizing the efforts. Good morning, Mona.
Good morning, Khalil. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Very quickly, tell us what is the issue is about.
Okay, so Proposal 1 is going to change our election system for City Council from at-large seats to districted seats. It's actually going to be a mixed system, so we will have 2 citywide seats and 7 districts. It's going to be, we're not dividing the city. It's going to be the same city still because there's a lot of misinformation out there. And it's just going to mean that each geographic area is going to have their own representative on City Council who's an expert on their issues, who lives in their neighborhoods, who knows the community's needs. So it's equitable, fair representation, and we encourage everybody to vote yes on Proposal 1. Vote yes on Proposal 1, please.
What are the benefits of having, specific wards instead of at large?
Well, when you have an at-large system, you have to campaign citywide. And in a city with over 110,000 people that live in it, it's very expensive to get your name out there to campaign to 110,000 people. And so usually the only people who are able to win the at-large seats are mainly people from the west side, because they have more name recognition or they can raise a lot of money. Some candidates raise $150,000. Now, when you're dealing with working class and poor people on the east side and the south end, they don't have those resources. They can't raise that much money and win an at-large seat. So having smaller districts where you have 15,000 people that you're campaigning to is much more affordable. So it lowers the threshold to elected office. It makes it more accessible to women, to people from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, and it ensures that every area, no matter how much money they have, no matter if they're poor or rich, it ensures they always are guaranteed a voice on City Council.
Absolutely. How about communication? Would it be easier to identify who represents you in your ward instead of at large?
Absolutely, because you will have your own representative in that it deals with your ward or your area. So you know who to go to when you have issues. You know who to talk to. You know the person because they live in your neighborhood. So it makes communication a lot more easier. It holds elected officials accountable because you know this person. And if they don't stand up for your rights and represent you the way that you need, it's easier in a smaller ward with 15,000 people to unseat them. So their main goal will be to serve the residents of their ward, in addition to collaborating with other council members to watch out for the benefit of the entire city.
Has this been a lot of work?
It's been a ton of work. We had 150 people, volunteers, over 150 volunteers help us gather signatures. We gathered over 8,000 signatures in 20 days to get this on the ballot. We've gone through a lot of challenges. First, the city clerk rejected over 2,800 signatures, and we had to go back and gather more signatures. Then the city wouldn't put it on the ballot, and we had to sue and go to court. And so now it's on the ballot, and we need everyone to go out and vote. Tell your parents, tell your sisters, tell your siblings, tell your cousins, your neighbors, your relatives, your friends, everybody to get up and go out and vote today. The polls are open until 8 p.m., so please go out and vote yes for Proposal 1. For fair representation.
Yeah. Have you been to the polls this morning?
We are still sending out our poll workers to the polling locations. And in a minute, I'm going to go visit the polls.
Oh, okay. When you were canvassing out there, what kind of a reception did you get from people?
People were very happy about especially East End and South End residents. They need this because remember when the flooding happened in 2021, it affected the East Side and the South End more than the West End. I mean, there was almost no flooding on the West End. And why did that happen? It's because most of the city council members, when they were determining where to put the CFO project, they lived in the West Side. So they prioritized the West Side and put almost all of them on the West Side and almost none on the East Side and South End. And so you guys all remember, if you live in the East Side or South End, you remember how bad it was in 2021, the flooding. Our basements flooded, and it costed us a ton of money to get those basements fixed. And this is already a immigrant community, lower socioeconomic backgrounds. You know, people are not doing as well as affluently as the West Side. So it costs a lot of money, and some people, their basements flooded once, twice, and 3 times. And if you don't want that to ever happen again in the future, you gotta vote yes for Proposal 1 to ensure that you have a voice on City Council. That will ensure that resources are allocated equitably to your area as well.
Yeah. Has it been costly to put this campaign together?
Oh, absolutely. We have the best election attorney in the state, and he's pretty expensive. We sent out one mailer, and mailers are pretty expensive. We had to go to court. That was expensive. Like, it costs a lot of money. But you know what? It's worth it. Just help us out, support us, and go out and vote. The hard work is so worth it if we can get this passed.
Yeah. We really, out of fairness, we don't have the evidence to show that it didn't flood in the West because all of the city council live in the West, so we don't really have the evidence to show that, out of fairness. But, I think representation is a good issue, and it's an important issue. The fact that affordability to run for office is a very important issue. And most cities that are progressive have this kind of system, which is really a good system because it provides a micro representation and divides the city into sections.
Absolutely, Rochester Hills.
Yeah. Go ahead,
this system, award system, is very common in a lot of cities, especially big cities like Dearborn. Rochester Hills has wards, Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti, Lansing, Grand Rapids, Detroit, Inkster, Flint, and Plymouth. This is not a new thing. So don't be afraid, people. Vote yes for Proposal 1 so we can create a system that is fair and a system that makes every voice heard and a system that gives people dignity. Everyone deserves to be represented on City Council. We all pay taxes and we all deserve a voice. So vote yes on Proposal 1.
Thank you, Mona, for being with us. Really appreciate it, and good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
ألو.
صباح الخير حماتي، بدي اشكيلك انه من يوم ما زوجي اكل عندكم اخر مرة ما بقى رضي ياكل من طبخي، كل يوم بيطلب اكلة رز من عندكم. كرمال الله خبريني شو السر.
بسيطة، هذا رز محمود سيلة.
بجد؟ وشو المميز فيه؟
عدي على أصابعك، سهل الطبخ، حبة طويلة، ولونه الأبيض الناصع بزين أي سفرة.
وشو كمان؟ شوقتيني.
ريحته بتفتح النفس، وبناتي ما بيستعملوا غيره لأنه خفيف على المعدة وبيخليكي نحيفة يا بعدي.
أيوة، هلأ فهمت. الله يخلي لي إياكي يا حماتي، صار لازم بدل لرز محمود.
الرز محمود سيلة، كل حبة نختارها بعناية من حقولنا الغنية لتصل إلى مائدتك العامرة. اطلبيه الآن من أقرب سوبر ماركت لديك.
رز محمود صحي وطيب.
Are you going to start a restaurant or grocery store soon? Do you need floor plans and designs? Call Naji Abood at 734-744-9796. Do you want to buy kitchen and restaurant equipment at discount prices? Call Naji Abood now, 734-744-9796. New Concept Products and Design, the trademark of kitchen equipment. 5% discount on all purchases of $75,000 or more. New Concept Products and Design, new location, 31185 Schoolcraft in Livonia. Learn more at www.newconceptproducts.com. Call Naji Abood, 734-744-9796.
Life for Relief and Development has now been rated as one of the best charities for humanitarian aid. Life's humanitarian projects span the globe, and Life is celebrating its 30th anniversary of providing essential life-saving aid to people and communities in 36 countries, regardless of race, color, religion, or cultural background. Where there is life, there is hope. And when disaster occurs here or around the world, including being one of the first responders to the Turkey-Syria earthquake crisis, Life for Relief and Development rushes in to provide food, medical aid, and shelter to those in need. We are looking to help the earthquake victims, and we take 0% overhead on emergency donations. So please help improve these efforts. Learn more about our involvement to help the helpless and bring hope where it's needed most, and make your tax-deductible donation to Life for Relief and Development now at lifeusa.org or call 248-424-7493. That's 248-424-7493.
Lead is invisible, but the dangers are real. Michigan's blood lead testing law aims to help identify exposure to lead in young children. All children should be tested for lead at ages 1 and 2. If they've never been tested, they should get a test by age 6. To help your child stay healthy, talk to their doctor about a blood lead test or visit michigan.gov/myleadsafe. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
A car accident can change your life in an instant. As a result of a car accident, you may become unemployed. As a result of a car accident, you may need a lot of medical treatment. People think that insurance companies are on their side. Why? Because they're giving them 1 or 2 benefits. Are they giving them all the benefits they deserve? How would one know? unless you consult with an attorney.
Call the law offices of Jumana Kiruz at 248-557-3645. 248-557-3645.
Welcome back and thank you for being with us. This is Khalil Hachem with US Arab Radio. I want to thank Mona for being with us. I wish her good luck with what they're doing. You know, it is important that you go out and vote, whether you support what's on the ballot or not, whether you like the candidates or not. Even if you don't like any of them, just go out and vote. The weight of a community is measured by how many people vote. When people are running for office, they take a look at how active is this community, is, and then they pay attention to it. So if you want people to pay attention to you as a community, you need to go out and vote. It's very important. And the issue that is on the ballot and dividing the city into wards, the pros and cons and argument is the fact that, number one, right now we have at large, meaning that you vote for 7 council members, and those council members represent the entire city. And then the argument here is that you have not only one person to reach out to, you can reach out to all of them if you have an issue. So it gives you more access in theory. And the argument of the folks who want to change that is the fact that, number one, it's more expensive because to run a citywide campaign is going to cost you more money. However, if you divide it into wards, then it's going to cost less. Second, it's that, you have one person out there that you know who to go to. And if that person does not do what you're asking them to do, you don't feel they're responsive, then you can hold them accountable. It's different than holding 7 people accountable. So there is a really good argument for that. And I'm not going to tell you how to vote yea or nay, but, cities that have switched into that system are doing really well. The other system that I wish we can switch to most cities is the composition of the city, which means, there are 2 different, at least 2 popular systems of governing in cities. There's a mayor form of government, and then there is a city council, strong city council form of government. The mayor form of government is that the people elect a mayor, and then they elect to run the city, and then they elect a city council to hold the mayor accountable. And then the city council would elect a council president, and the city council and the council president and the city council are part-time. The mayor is full-time. The mayor comes in, he brings his friends into the governing, and then he governs for 4 years, whatever the term is. And then he presents the budget to the city council. The city council votes on it, approves it or not, and then there's that discussion between the two. This form of city government is prone to corruption. And this is, it's no reflection on any particular mayor. In general, it's prone for corruption because, a politician comes in, gets enough votes, whether that politician has experience to run the city or not, that person becomes the mayor. That person is going to run the city. And we've seen it many, many, many times, and according to the National League of Cities, where this has led to corruption, led to not the city being run professionally. And then it also involves politics on the day-to-day operation of the city. The other form of government, which is the strong city council, where the mayor and the city council are all part-timers, they're politicians, they get elected, and they as a body appoint and hire rather a manager to run the city, a professional. This professional has gone to school, studied how to run a city, and then started at a smaller city or as an assistant manager, learned the ropes, and proved that he's he or she are capable of running the city, and then they move on to a bigger city and a bigger city as they get more accomplished. By the time they come to a city, a bigger city, they have enough experience to really run the city. The benefit of this is that first, you have a professional running the city. Second, you're removing politics out of the day-to-day operation. Third, allegedly, or supposedly, all of the people that person hires are professionals. Unlike the other one where people bring in their friends, here they hire professionals and they hold them accountable. Now, that person is on a yearly basis is reviewed as a contract, and his work is reviewed by the city council. And if the city council feels that person is not doing a good job, they can replace him or her. And it's just a much better system. And then studies shows that most cities that have switched into a strong city council city government are far more successful. They're progressive. And these people are professionals, and that's what you need. You need a professional to run the city, not a politician. And from my 28 years of writing about this issue in 3 states, I could see it in general. And again, this is no reflection on a particular mayor, but the whole system of a mayor running the city and a politician running the city is just the margin of corruption is pretty high. So I hope that eventually, cities will move into that. And the reason I'm saying this, and I'm making a point here, this is not on the ballot, but as a general education to everyone, because the way we are going in this country, we're going more and more into more local influence. And if we're going to have more and more local influence, we're going to conduct our affairs more and more locally. We need to have professionals making these decisions and executing the decisions that the city council makes and representing us and doing a good job of doing that. It's very important to do that. We have a few minutes left, and I was hoping to hear from some of the voters and see how they feel about the election today. But we wish them luck, and I hope that they are out there voting. We have a few minutes left. What I'm going to do is I was going to talk about, as you all know, I'm in real estate, and I was going to talk about the market. The market is really good. If you're in the Fed dropped interest rates by 0.25%. This is the second drop. It has had not a lot of effect on mortgages, but enough effect to get more and more people into the market. And the average interest rate is between 6 and 7, and there's the chances that if you go on FHA, you can get it below 6, which is in the high 5s, which is not bad at all. But this is really a misleading issue, because if you need a home, you need a home. And right now, homes are at a good prices. If the interest rate drops, by another half a point or a point, then we anticipate if it continues like this and we see a really good drop in interest rates, a lot more people are going to enter the market, buyers, and that's going to make homes more expensive. So if you need a home, you need to buy a home, period. Okay. Second, if you buy a home now at a good price, and then later on the interest rate drops, which it normally does, interest rates goes up and down. So what you can do is you already gotten a good deal on a home, and then what you can do is you can refinance. Okay, even at the time when you get your loan, there are ways in which we can lower. You can buy points. A lot of things you can do. The trick is you need to work with a professional team, whether it is real estate or whether it is mortgage. Okay, and I always recommend that talk to at least 2 to 3 people, those who provide mortgages. Pick somebody you trust. Pick somebody who's going to tell you the truth. A lot of people will tell you, hey, no problem, I'll give you 5. Well, I'll give you 5.3%. And then once you start doing all the numbers, you find out that your interest rate is a lot much higher than that. And then they tell you, oh, you know what, you're this and that and that. No, you need somebody who's going to tell you the truth from day one. There are no hidden costs. There are no hidden anything. And then you can tell them, listen, can I bring that interest rate down? And they can tell you what you can do to do that, okay? Or if they can, recommend to you that, well, it's going to work very well for you right now. After 6 months, you can always refinance when the interest drops down. The other thing you need to be aware of, and I always like to talk about this because people need to be aware of it, and not many people in real estate will tell you about this, is that you need to be mindful of the cap rate. Not the cap rate, I'm sorry. The taxes. Will the taxes change and how much they will change? Don't listen to anybody. Call the city, call the township, and give them the address and tell them what would the uncapped rate be. And they give you a good idea of what your taxes are going to be after a year after you buy the home. So it's important that you do that because you need to know what you're up against financially and can you afford it or not. This is something very, very important. Anyway, I got a few deals going on. I have a few homes in West Detroit area, in Warrendale area. They're really good homes. If you're looking to invest, they're about $100,000 or so in prices, and they're good if you wanna buy them. If you want to rent them, this is a really good home. We also have a building in Harper Woods where it generates $22,000 a month in rent. We're offering it for $4 million. Really good cap rate. If you're interested, give me a call. 313-819-0101. 313-819-0101. I'll be more happy to help you with that. Again, the homes in Detroit, we're going to have more of them for sale. That's Warrendale area, and that's the area between Southfield and Evergreen and south of Warren, between Warren and Ford Road. It's a very good area if you're looking to invest. And we do take land contract for a good down payment. So we'll work with you. There are also if you want a home and then you can get a mortgage, we can also help you to get you help from the state. The state provides about $10,000 in home and down payment assistance. If you qualify, this will also work for you very well. That's for people who are buying for the first time. Again, the number is 313-819-0101. Thank you for listening. Thank you for everyone who has been on the show. Go out and vote. Good luck to everyone. Thank you so much. Thank Mike for great production. Have a good weekend. Bye now.